Morning to all my lovely children out there. I welcome you all for today's English class. Students, I hope and pray that all of you are fit and fine, right? And to begin our class today, let us recall back what we have done in our previous class. In our previous class, we have just started the poem which was called To Sleep, right? Written by whom? Written by William Wordsworth. In my last class, I have just given you a brief description of who William Wordsworth was and also a small gist about what the poem is all about, right students? I have told you that the poem is all about what? It is all about sleep, talking about the importance of sleep. And in today's class, what we are going to do is we are going to try to understand the poem stanza wise. I have already told you in my previous class is a sonnet. It is a sonnet, means comprising a poem comprising of 14 lines, each of which has a peculiar rhyming note, right? So let's get started students. Let's start the poem, try to understand it and appreciate its beauty. So students, you can see the poem on the screen. The first stanza: a flock of sheep that leisurely pass by, one after one, the sound of rain and bees murmuring, the fall of rivers, winds and seas, smooth fields, wide sheets of water and pure sky. So here what does the poet wants to express us? The poet wants to express us that the poet is suffering from insomnia. Insomnia means a condition, a sickness of sleeplessness, where one cannot sleep. Okay, when one tries to sleep, is tired, still is unable to sleep because of the sickness. So here in the first stanza, it is written as the poet is speaking that he is unable to sleep and sees what? Throughout the night sees what? A flock of sheep that leisurely pass by. I have already done the word meanings in my last class, where I have told you the meaning of all the different words which we had gone through. Leisurely means in a slow and very relaxed manner, right students? So here it has been stated that the poet is seeing, when he is not able to sleep, he is thinking about what? He is thinking about a flock of sheep that leisurely pass by in a very relaxed manner, one after another. The sound of rain. The poet can also hear the sound of rain. He is not able to sleep. So he is able to hear the sound of rain and bees murmuring. Sometimes he is thinking that bees are all around and the bees are murmuring, right? The fall of river, the river falls, no? Whenever, I think most of you have seen different kinds of rivers, no? And river falls also, then there's a particular sound being made by the river as it flows down, right? So here the poet states that even the fall of rivers, he could hear it so clearly. Winds and seas, wind, when it moves, there's a particular sound of the wind, and even the seas, okay, the sound, the waves of the seas can be heard by the poet, as the poet is sleepless, imagines all these things all around him. Smooth fields, he can even imagine the smooth beautiful fields, wide sheets of water, a very stagnant wide sheet of water, and pure sky, pure blue sky. So the first stanza tells us all the different things which the poet imagines and feels as he is sleepless, as he is facing insomnia. Let us see the second stanza. What does it convey us? I have thought of all by turns, and yet to lie sleepless. And soon the small birds' melodies must hear, first uttered from my orchid trees, and the first cuckoo's melancholy cry. So the second stanza tells us that the poet, whatever he has talked about, the sheep, the rainfall, right, the bees, the river, the winds, the seas, all those things which he has mentioned us in the first stanza are all his thoughts which he is thinking as he is lying sleepless on his bed. Now he says that I have thought about all these things turn by turns, that means one after another, and yet I couldn't sleep. Yet I couldn't sleep. I feel sleepless whole night. And soon the small bird's melodies must hear, first uttered from my orchid trees, and the first cuckoo's melancholy cry. What does the poet says here? He says that soon it is going to be what? It is going to be daylight. And soon what can I hear? I can hear the birds, small little birds. What? They are singing melodies. Right. Early in the morning when you wake up, what can you hear, students? Early in the morning when there's no vehicles, nothing moving around, quiet peace, right, and fresh air. The only thing which you will hear early in the morning as you wake up is the wonderful chirping sound of the birds. So the poet says that soon I'm going to hear that, right? I'm going to hear that first from the fruit trees which are there in my garden, and also the cuckoo's melancholy cry. Cuckoos, a breed of a bird, right? It's what? Melancholy cry means the cuckoo would cry, would make a sound in a very sad and gloomy manner. Okay, let us see the third stanza. What does it conveys us? Even thus last night and 2 nights more I lay and could not win thee. Sleep by any stealth, so do not let me wear tonight away. Without thee, what is all the morning's wealth? Now, dear students, in the third stanza, the poet emphasizes the importance of sleep. The poet says that even thus last night, that means I was not able to sleep last night and 2 nights more. That means it's altogether how many nights which the poet feels sleepless? Totally 3 nights the poet is sleepless. Says that I'm not able to win you. That means I'm not able to get a peaceful sleep for 3 nights, right? And here it says that by any stealth means in a very quiet and clever behavior or manner. I told you in my last class, right? By any stealth, so do not let me wear tonight away. So it says that I don't want to be exhausted anymore. No, the poet says that you are quietly running away from me. And the poet says that without thee, what is all the morning's wealth? What is the meaning of thee? THEE. I told you in the last class, it's an old English word which means you. So the poet says that you are passing by quietly in a stealthy manner. In a stealthy manner, the sleep is passing by quietly in a very clever way without reaching the poet, without making him sleep. He says that without you, what is all the morning wealth? So, without a good night's sleep, we cannot achieve anything in the day. Right? That is very much true. If you have a good night's sleep, what will happen? Your morning will become bright and beautiful. But if you are not able to sleep at night, what happens? You feel very dizzy, heavy-headed, no? And you are not able to grasp everything in a proper manner. So, let us see the last 2 lines. What does it conveys? Come, blessed barrier between day and night, day and day. So here the poet says, come. Come means he is inviting sleep to come and accompany him. Okay. Blessed barrier. Now, whenever you talk about barrier, it's like a block, right? A hindrance. But here he said blessed. Blessed means it's like a blessing. So he says that sleep is like what? Sleep is like a barrier. But it is a barrier which is very good for us. A barrier between day and day. He says what? Between 2 days there is a gap. In between there is a barrier that is called as sleep, and that barrier is not bad. He says it's a blessed barrier. Dear mother of fresh thoughts and joyous health. Now what he says, sleep is a mother. He's comparing sleep like to a mother, right? So when you compare something to a mother, means that thing has to be very, very precious, right? So sleep is also very precious. The poet says that, come mother of fresh thoughts and joyous health. So what does the poet say? Feels that sleep is like a mother which brings what? Which brings fresh thoughts in the morning. If you have a good night's sleep in the morning, you have fresh thoughts and also joyous health, good health. So students, it's a wonderful poem written by William Wordsworth, right? I've already told you he was an English poet who have written many classics. Now this is also one of the classic, right? Here he has emphasized the importance of sleep, rest and relaxation, and how he have compared that if you suffer from sleepless nights, what are the difficulties that one faces, no? And how wonderfully he has written that there is that sleep is so important for all of us. Until and unless we get good night's sleep, we are never able to have fresh thoughts in our mind and get good health, right students? I hope you have understood the poem. So students, with that we come to the end of the class. Before ending the class, let us recall back what we have done in our today's class. We have tried to understand the poem that is called To Sleep, written by William Wordsworth, where we have understood the importance of sleep, right? And I too encourage you all to have good night's sleep. Have a good sleep of at least 8 to 9 hours, because growing children like you all need ample amount of sleep as your body, mind is growing. Okay, you are growing physically, mentally, right? And in all the aspects you are growing. So for that good growth of your body and mind, you need what? You need good sleep. Okay, so take good rest and good sleep. Keep on learning, try to understand the poem, keep on practicing reading, and look at the video if you don't understand anything. I have tried to explain you stanza wise, line by line. I hope you'll understand it, and take care of yourself. Stay safe and healthy. Bye bye students. I shall see you all in my next class.